Limpopo Premier Phophi Ramathuba is set to deliver the State of the Province address amid ongoing service delivery challenges. Poor roads and water shortages continue to affect many residents there, with recent heavy rains further deteriorating the conditions of the road. A recent Stats SA survey also shows a rise in unemployment in the province. Our reporter Katlego Nyoni is watching developments and joins us now from the Legislature building in Limpopo. A long list of issues for the Premier in Limpopo, as is the case for premiers anywhere else in the world, or in the country, I beg your pardon. We saw earlier a bit of a parade by police there behind you, Katlego, a signal that things are about to get underway soon.
Certainly there, and indeed the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, has arrived at the Limpopo Legislative Chambers ahead of that main address. We saw the Premier last year opening the Parliament after she was appointed as the Premier of Limpopo. That was last year in August, of course, giving a guideline as to what her administration plans to focus on. One of the key areas is the revival of the economy by harnessing pivotal sectors within the economy, agriculture, mining, as well as tourism. The Premier mentioning that there will be several projects aimed at creating work for locals and, of course, accelerating service delivery. Well, that program, the State of the Province address, is about to get underway at the Limpopo Legislative Chambers. If you can see behind me, members of the security cluster are busy conducting their pre-drill ahead of that main address by Premier Dr. Phophi Ramathuba. But as you mentioned, Ayanda, a myriad of issues really affecting the province, from water scarcity to the issue of roads. Let me bring in a gentleman that knows where the state of water allocation in the province stands. That is the Managing Director for the Limpopo Northern Water, Mr. Ndoleni Mpepu. Thank you very much for your time this morning. There's been quite a number of challenges affecting areas in Limpopo where water is really a problem. What can you tell us about the state of the allocation of that key service really to the people of the province?
The President has declared that water as a priority number one, and we as Limpopo Northern Water who plays a major role within the Limpopo province. Together with the executive and the Premier, we have ensured that we roll out a program, a war room around water issues. We do know that Limpopo is a water scarce area, but we are going to address it starting from Pulukwane. We had a war room and the issues have been addressed. We are going to go to Bembe, to Sikukune and other region. But Limpopo is now positioned, and because the Water Board must play a major role, including helping the Water Services Authority or municipality. But also, as you know, water is a catalytic in terms of economic growth. Special economic zone like Musina Makado, special economic zone, Fitahomu, special economic zone needs water. Hence, we are playing this major role to ensure that we bring water, even through investment.
I hear you say that there is a war room. However, its results might not really be visible for the majority of people out there. Areas such as the semi-urban areas, far-flung rural areas, people do not have water, Mr. Mpepu. Yet there is a war room. What exactly is the war room doing?
We had to look at the short-term and long-term intervention. And the short-term, what we realized is that there are a lot of illegal connection that we needed to deal with. And I can tell you, since we closed a lot of pipes of community that are really connecting on our pipeline, there has been improvement in Pulukwane. We are also making sure that our water treatment works, they operate at maximum. For example, if you have got 10 megaliters a plant like Sishiu, it has to operate at 10 megaliters so that all the reservoirs can be full. But also what we are going to focus on is water conservation and demand, because we do know that the supply, it's lesser than the demand. So the demand versus supply is not correlating. Hence, we need to address it. I can assure you and assure citizens of Limpopo that with this war room and the program spearheaded by the Premier, the results will be visible soon.
Thank you very much. Ayanda, I just want to quickly also bring in another guest, that is the MEC responsible for public works in the Limpopo province, Mr. Tony Rachweni. So we've seen recently the heavy rainfalls have worsened some of the road conditions in areas like Lwamondo, Tabazimbi, areas where communities are using gravel roads to access bigger towns. What exactly is your department doing to address this particular problem, and what sort of budget would you require to address road infrastructure as well as bridges?
No, thanks very much. As you know, Katlego, since our appointment last year, we have been on the ground in terms of making sure that we deal with the issues of our road infrastructure in the province. There are a lot of programs that we have introduced, like the Khere program, which we mainly use our internal staff and internal yellow fleet to deal with some of the issues that you have just said here. The issue of disaster has hit very hard. As you know, that from October last year until now, we've been having heavy rains in the province, which damaged a lot of our road infrastructure. But we are trying our level best through the disaster fund from Treasury, and also using our internal capacity to deal with the roads that are damaged in the whole province.
All right, thank you very much. That is the MEC responsible for public works. The State of the Province address, Ayanda, is officially about to get underway. The Premier there will deliver the keynote address during the State of the Province address. Of course, unemployment remains a very huge issue. It is now standing at 31.9% in the province, and the expanded definition of unemployment sits at 46.5%. These are some of the issues that Premier Dr. Phophi Ramathuba plans to tackle through job creation and the acceleration of service delivery. Ayanda?
Yeah, absolutely. The provincial government certainly has their work cut out for them. Our reporter there, Katlego Nyoni, live to us there from Limpopo in Limpopo. Thanks very much indeed.